Starting next week, Disney is adding even more magic to one of its parks. The EPCOT International Flower and Garden Festival kicks off next Wednesday and runs through May. Joining me now is Eric Darden to tell us about some of the new additions to this annual event and also to teach us a thing or two about growing some of the fantastic things that we see at EPCOT. Good morning to you. Thanks for being here. Appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.
So what new stuff? It is just so, I'll tell you what, it doesn't even matter what the weather is, but whenever you go down to EPCOT, you just feel happier because everything is green and lush and growing. And I know I look at things and I'm like, how in the world did they do that?
Well, we're not up here in the cold north.
Yeah, which helps.
But, right. No, the festival gets bigger every year. We have a lot of exciting stuff coming up. It starts March 5th. Like always, we have playgrounds and kids' activities and beautiful gardens, a butterfly house. But one of the things I did want to talk about is a relatively new addition to the festival. We've added food. Yeah. We have 11 food outdoor kitchens that we're putting up where the guests can come and try lots of different types of food, a lot of vegetable-based food, but a lot of protein as well.
And a lot of it grown at EPCOT itself?
Some of it grown at EPCOT. Of course, we have a lot of guests and not that many greenhouses, but
if only, right?
Correct.
Now, what are you helping kind of educate us on here this morning?
Well, you know, one of the great things about the festival is you can come and see all this fun stuff and have fun with your kids, but you can also learn how to garden. Yeah. There's Disney gardeners. So I wanted to just show some basic tips for growing herbs and vegetables, because, you know, anyone can help add to their diet by growing herbs. Mm-hmm. So most people know how to pot up, but I did want to give one little secret that we use at Disney. People always say, how do you do these beautiful containers? Yes. There is a secret. You plant it, the plant, you want to use a fertilizer, a slow-release fertilizer, which lots of people do. Put that in according to label directions, but the key is about weekly, use a liquid. We always say you got to give it a meal and then a snack every now and then. And so that's how we get our beautiful containers. It's not that hard, and any good commercial soil will do it for you.
We'll do it for you. And I just have to ask, I noticed that when you took this out, I have often learned that, and I'm going to pick this up if I can without damaging it, should you kind of crumple this a bit? I see that this is very white to kind of break up this area down here, because you know how sometimes you'll look at the bottom here and the roots will be growing through, and it's kind of, you know, do you pull it off because you're going to damage it, or should you break it apart?
No, you should. These aren't that what we call root bound, so probably not that big a deal, but if you had something that had grown like this, you would really want to break those roots up to help them spread. Otherwise, they'll just keep girdling around there.
And do you have a suggestion on a kind of, this is the kind of the blue?
Yeah, and there's many brands.
Okay, and does it really matter then? You're just looking for something that you would add to water. And how often should you then?
We like to do it weekly, and for flowers too. And for flowers. I mean, that's how you get, you know, we don't just have herbs, of course, we have beautiful flowers. Yeah. But once a week. And this stuff will last for 8-9 months usually.
Okay, the stuff that you actually add to the soil. Because we tend to think organic soil, which is better. I mean, for herbs, maybe a better idea for the organic soil.
Well, now, if you're using this, it's not going to be organic because this is chemical.
Okay.
It's not a pesticide or a herbicide. It's just a fertilizer. So if you're going to do organic, they do have organic liquid and organic, you know, like a compost that you put in and use.
So how do you do the topiaries? Because they're just, I mean,
it takes a lot of time.
Incredible.
And a lot of artists. We actually start with the Disney artist who makes a character figurine for us, and then we use welders.
And you just go from there.
Yeah.
And then how do you make it look so green? I mean, I know that it's Central Florida. I know it doesn't get as cold as it does up here, but still, I know that you get some, you know, cool weather.
We do. We actually use, if it gets too cold for our topiaries, we actually buy Army surplus parachutes and cover them up for the frost. Yes, we do.
That's fantastic. So, Eric, thank you so much. So interesting. Do appreciate it. And if you would like to check out the EPCOT International Flower and Garden Festival for yourself, here's what you need to know. It runs, as Eric mentioned, starts on March 5th, runs through May 18th. You need a valid park admission. For more information and to get your tickets, go to disneyworld.com/flower. Bruce?